Hey everybody, it's kayflye and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today I'm doing a 100 baby challenge dream home, and this build was so fun and so tricky to put together. I did use a reference photo, so that's why you see me really messing around with the floor plan here as I'm trying to figure out where everything goes and figure out the proportions in the Sims, which sometimes is, and by sometimes I mean always, is a little different than real life, especially because sometimes one tile does not always equal 1 square foot, so it can get a little bit tricky sometimes. But I tried to build a really big house so that way you could fit all the things you need for the 100 baby challenge in it. But then I also tried to make it fun, have a little bit of personality so that way you don't feel like your Sims are just living in some bland house. But I also tried to make it be not overly personalized so that way you could play in it with any sort of Sims family. And yes, in case you're wondering, this house is on my gallery, so if you'd like to download it, my gallery name is the same as my YouTube name. It's kayflye, and I think this is called 100 baby big house or something like that. But anyways, as we're getting into this build, definitely had a really fun time trying to figure out the roof for this, just because there were so many different pieces, so many little bump outs. And as I was building, I also tried to limit the packs I was using at least a little bit. So while I did use quite a few packs, actually I only used 5. I used Seasons, Cats and Dogs, Parenthood, Paranormal, and Tiny Home. And I tried to keep it at least a little bit restricted so that way if you don't have a ton of packs, I didn't use 50 million and just go hog wild, but also I wanted to give myself enough space to be creative, and the Cats and Dogs windows and flooring just really suited the style of the build I was doing, so I felt like I had to use it. And then I just love a lot of the countertops and tables from Parenthood, and it just fit really well with the style of the house as well as kind of the vibe of the 100 baby challenge in general. So that's why I decided to use those, and I didn't use too much from Paranormal, so if you don't have it, you can easily replace the couch with something else, and then it's just some lights and a couple of clutter items, so not a really big deal if you don't have the pack. But anyways, getting back to, I guess, the details of the build, I wanted the first floor to have pretty much everything you need for general living, so it's got a nice big kitchen, which you can see is giving me a little bit of trouble trying to fit everything in. And then on the first floor, there'll also be a dining room area as well as a living room area. So that way, kind of all of the shared living things that your Sims will be using every day are just all together, so you don't have to manage your Sims just being everywhere. This little corner of a room, I spent an embarrassing amount of time, as you can see, trying to figure out how I wanted this to go. I was like, maybe I can scoot the counters in and be really clever. Maybe I can use these rounded pieces. And then I realized I stuck out the back, which was really awkward. So then I had to just kind of revamp. I tried using counter pieces from a different pack or a different style, and it didn't work. So I just had to keep fiddling with it and fiddling with it. And then eventually I just stuck the fridge over there, and I was like, I think this will be fine. We'll just do the fridge in the trash can and be like, yeah, this was what I initially was going to do. And I totally didn't just spend 15 minutes fiddling with this thing, because this video is on 8 times speed. And you saw how long it took me. So yeah. And then the flooring, I was going to use the base game flooring, and then I decided to use the Cats and Dogs flooring just because I don't usually use that swatch, and I realized it actually looked really nice, and I was trying not to make everything just be the same bright light wood shade, and just trying to mix it up at least a little bit, so that way that the house wasn't just totally boring. And I was initially going to try to stick to just using Cats and Dogs and Seasons, and then I didn't really like the couches, and I just love the Paranormal couch so much because it has so many little details on it that I feel make it really nice to have in your home. So I ended up using that, and then I was trying to find a good 2-seater from one of the other 2 packs and just couldn't make it work, so I ended up using Tiny Living because the couch is nice and simple. And then like a nice little built-in fireplace. But yeah, I want to have the living space really have a nice big table, so that way most of your Sims can eat together, but then have the living space have 2 different couches, so also a bunch of your Sims can sit and hang out over there. And this is kind of like what I was talking about when I was trying to put personality in it, trying to have like these nice little like places for like, your knickknacks, your doodads. Like your kid does a school project, like you can put it on the little bureau, and that way as you're playing through the 100 Baby Challenge, you can inject some of your own personality and gameplay into it and really feel like it's your Sims house and they're living there, but you don't have to go through a ton of effort just to make something work. So also on the first floor we have the toddler bedroom. I always find it really annoying when my toddlers are upstairs, and we have like the bedroom, and we also have a bathroom with a shower tub combo right next to their room, so it'll be nice and easy to take care of the toddlers, which definitely is a little bit of a challenge sometimes. And then I put a bunch of like toys and iPads in their room as well as blocks and a Blarfy, plenty of night lights, so that way you're just 100% ready to go. Hopefully you won't have more than 4 toddlers at once, both because there's only 4 beds in the room and because 4 toddlers at once is horrible. Wouldn't want to wish that on anybody. And then downstairs as well we have a room for kids, and I think I end up putting bunk beds in here, I really don't remember. But I also tried to make the kids' rooms have a little bit of like personality, so this one was kind of like a dark, like space themed room, and it has a bunch of items that your kids might need. So there's like a mirror so they can get up their like charisma skill 13 or work on like their social skill. And then we also have like a journal in there. I think that gets up the creativity skill. And then we also have another little living room in here in addition to the other one. I rarely use that couch from Seasons, and I'll try to use at least like some of the Season stuff in here to like, you know, quote unquote like justify it to myself. And never mind, I took out the Season couch because I didn't like it. Never used it. I did use the rug though, pretty sure I kept that. And then I went through I'm gonna try like 15 different rugs, and then I'm gonna hate them all and change them out, and then probably go back to the thing I started with. Favorite thing to do is like size up, size down the rugs to try to make them actually work. And especially in this room where I realized all of a sudden that I have just a lot of browns and grays, and I was trying to make it not just be like a big brown blob, big gray blob, and like have it be super boring. And so at least I figured if I have all browns, maybe I should just try to have some different textures going on. And upstairs we have the master bedroom and a wonderful walk-in closet. Of course, big mirror. Gotta get that charisma skill up so that way your matriarch will be better able to seduce a bunch of, you know, willing donors. And then we also have a big master bathroom where your sim can really veg out after a tough day being a matriarch. There's another tub up here, and then there's also a shower, so plenty of options for your sims to get clean or get their fun up in the bathtub. Then we have another kid/teen room, I guess, upstairs. See, I changed my mind. I was gonna have bunk beds downstairs, and then I'm trying to figure out how can we fit in enough beds so that way you don't have to try to like restructure everything every time you get another teen. And I was like, oh, I wish I had decided to use Dream Home Decorator so I can use all of those beds, but I was trying to not go crazy wild on the number of packs I was using, so I ended up just using some base game ones. Also made sure to put in some desks so that way your kids have places to do their homework, and then just kind of put in some toys and journals and different types of skill building objects just to not only make the rooms feel like they're lived in, but also just make it so you don't have to worry about putting 100% of that stuff in by yourself. Put the potties in the toddler room, which always feels a little bit wrong, feels a little bit dirty, but there wasn't a better spot to put it. And then I put more toys out on the landing. It turns out if you size down the doll houses, since your sims just play in front of them, they'll still use it. So I used the big fun doll house. I used a bunch of these beds from Tiny Living for the other kids' room. So I think this sleeps, I want to say it's 6 kids or teens, and then there's space for up to 4 toddlers. and I only put 2 baby bassinets in, but if you get another baby, you can easily stick the baby in somewhere. Now going through and starting to figure out the wallpaper now that I have all the basic furniture down and I've figured out what I want each room to be. So wanted to have it be like somewhat not too obnoxious, but also be kind of fun, because 100 Baby Challenge was a super fun challenge. Super weird challenge maybe, but I wanted to inject enough personality into like the kids room where it feels like it's fun and it feels like it's not just a boring, bland kids room, but also have it not be like crazy out of control. And try to do the same with kind of the rest of the house, where it has some nice touches, but it doesn't feel like it's overly personalized or like overly crazy. Now, after usually I go through, I put all the furniture down, I put all the wallpaper down, then I kind of go back and do kind of like details. So like putting in bigger clutter items, putting in some fun lights in addition to the little tiny subtle saucer lights, putting in plants, just making it feel like it's not a big empty house. I was trying, making sure I was sorting by pack so that way I wasn't just willy-nilly just using things because I wanted to. Try to make this as downloadable as possible. Put another one of those little hutch things where you could put things from your Sims, or you could, maybe your kid will like drop their toys there, make it feel very natural and very lived in. Just putting other like side tables, lights, curtains, just trying to make it feel fun and not boring. And somewhere where you can just really see yourself playing in The Sims. And just like trying to put in some of those subtle touches so that way you see this and you're like, oh, like I could see myself downloading this, I could see myself playing in it. Putting in stuff like the all-in-point like toilet paper and like a little bathrobe in the bathroom, a little bath mat. Just trying to make it feel like it's fun and it's something that you're actually going to want to play in. But yeah, if you're looking at this and thinking like, oh man, like I really wish that you would build something that had fewer packs, or oh man, like I really wish you would build this in like a modern style or in an off-the-grid style, like maybe you're doing some really crazy 100 Baby Challenge, you should definitely comment down below, hey, like I want to see you build XYZ type of house next, and I'll 100% do it. I also have 100 Baby Challenge starter home speed build. That's a really cute modern one that is just, I think it's Dream Home Decorator in the base game, and if you have Tiny Living it will count as a tiny home, so you should definitely go check that out if you're looking for more 100 Baby Challenge starter homes. And I think I have also one that is 100% base game, so there's plenty of options for everybody. On every budget, so definitely check that out. Oh, I forgot that there's this cute new fire poker thing. Sorry, getting so distracted. Yeah, now I'm just putting in, the final little touches, putting in speakers, putting in books, just trying to putting in more skill building items, like the classic chess table. And now I'm just gonna finish up the patio and then start doing the backyard. That way there's just everything your Sims need is already in the house. Scooting this a little bit more forward, putting in a cute little pathway, and now just going through, putting in a couple of trees, putting in some bushes, and then just kind of rounding out the landscape with some flowers, and some hosta plants. I love having a pool for the 100 Baby Challenge. So I feel like it's a good vibe, like you have this big fancy house, you have a big fancy pool. Sims who work on their fitness skills, get their fun up. If you have a Sim that you suspiciously need to get rid of, you have a way to do that right here. Not that I'm advocating for anything, but just in case, I got you covered. And we also have another little outdoor space with a table and some planters, toys for your kids if they have their friends over and you want to do like a little bit of storytelling, but also just easy ways to get their skills up and get their fun up outside. Just wrapping up the landscaping now, and we're just about done with this build actually. So if you like this video, you should give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also comment down below what you would like me to build next. I'll see you next time. Bye everybody.